Hello everyone, this is John here bringing you a midday update on the market. The chart you see before you is the SPY. I just want to go over where we're sitting at right now. You can see that this last week, obviously, we've had this sell-off. Now today, it looks like we're getting a little bit of a bounce, but we need to point out that we have some resistance right here, which coincides with this area that acted as support back in here. So we might be testing this as resistance, and from this area, we might decide to pull back. I'll go ahead and zoom into a shorter time frame so we can see this up close a little bit. And we can see there's that level over here at about 107.20-ish. And it looks like we are starting to pull back a little bit from this level. It looks like this level may act as resistance. Another thing we want to point out is we still have that declining 5-day moving average in black right here. And that's going to be another area of resistance if we do mention to pop above this level at 107.20. So we need to keep that in mind. We eventually want to see this level at 107.20 break. I think if we can see this level break and maybe test as support, so we'll have price back, bounce back down, and then bounce from that level. If we can see this level test as support, I think we can trust our longs a little bit more. At this moment, I wouldn't give any faith to any long positions, as we are still trading below the 5-day moving average, and it looks like we're still making these lower highs and lower lows. We can see that this is the downward trend, and if we test this and start pulling back from here, this would be another lower high, and just furthering the downtrend that we have. Again, if any of you don't know this, how we define a downtrend is with lower lows and lower highs, and that is what we have on the broad market. We have it on a 15-minute time frame, and we also have it on a daily minute time frame. We can, or a daily time frame, I should say, and we can see this right here. We can see that we've had a lower high at this point, also a lower low made at this point. Now it looks like we've had another lower low, and possibly we're putting in our other lower high right here. So this is telling us that we're still in this downtrend. Moving to a different chart where we can see the moving averages, we can see that we still have this 200-day moving average down here. And on the SPY, it looks like that is a possible area where we may eventually get down to, and maybe then we can see that 200-day act as support. But that's a long ways out. So for now, let's just focus on the individual stocks and how they're reacting rather than what the broad market is doing. First stock I want to go over, SCSS. I had talked about this one last week because of its cup and handle pattern and how it broke this cup and handle. Here's the neckline of that pattern. And then I said that because it had pulled back for a couple days, we wanted to watch it and see how it reacted to this neckline. And sure enough, as it's pulled back, it looks like it's found some support at that neckline, as it should. And it's nice to see that, and we might get some more subsequent action or a subsequent rally from this area. So you might want to keep that in mind. Obviously, we're going to have some resistance back up in here if price ever does make it up there. But I think we might see some more action in this, so you could get a couple other trades out of this. Again, if you're going to trade it, though, just make your stops tight. We'll go into a 5-minute time frame so we can see how we would trade this. Basically, how I would trade this is if it can break above this level right here again at about 742, I would buy it, and then I would set my stop right underneath this level so that we're only risking a couple pennies. And then I think the stock could get probably back up to maybe 775. But this one doesn't look so great. I mean, it looks like we could have some more buying, but it's nothing to be really excited about. The other one I want to talk about real quickly is this DEAR or DEER. This one had a really nice pattern where we saw this nice rally on higher volume. Here's the higher volume. Then we saw another day of buying right here that also coincided with some heavier volume. You can see that volume spike right here. And then we've had this sideways action. Let me get rid of that. We've had this sideways action on lighter volume. So that's been really nice to see. And today, we'll zoom into a shorter time frame. Today, it looks like we've been getting some buying here. I want to switch over to a different chart so we can get that 5-day minute up, or the 5-day moving average. So we can see the 5-day moving average. We are trading back above it, and the 5-day is now starting to slope out. This one looks like it's setting up pretty nicely. I would like to see the 5-day begin to turn higher, and then I would also like to see price come down and test that 5-day and act as support. And I think as soon as we see a test of that 5-day and we see that price is bouncing from it, I think then you can purchase it. So you'd want to purchase it right here as it's breaking past or as it's breaking away from that 5-day moving average and acting as support. So that one is looking kind of interesting. The other one I want to talk about real quick here is CPST. Go ahead and zoom out to a daily time frame. And we need to switch to another chart. Here we go, CPST. Okay. And what I wanted to point out with this one is just how it's reacting to this 200-day moving average. You can see that we've pulled back and we're testing this 200-day moving average. It looks like we've already tested it as support. I'll go ahead and zoom in a little bit here. And we've gotten a little bit of a bounce from this 200-day. Now, this doesn't excite me greatly, but I think if we can see some more action continue, I don't see why we couldn't see this stock rally right from this area. I'm going to keep an eye on this one. I don't necessarily like everything about it quite yet. It needs to develop more, but this is just something you want to note. I've seen a whole bunch of stocks lately that have come back down and are trading off of their 200-day moving average, this pink line here. So this could be some action that we might see occurring later in the week where we see a bunch of these stocks rally off of their 200-day moving average. I'll just quick go over a couple others that I had seen that are doing similar things. Obviously, RF had tested its 200-day back in November, and we had gotten a rally. So this is kind of the action that I'm looking for, where we see that 200-day act as support right here, and then we get a rally from it. Let me see if I can't find some of those other stocks that I've been talking about. No. Okay, here's the one that I wanted to mention. This one, EXEL or Excel. I really like this one because we're back down to that 200-day moving average, so we could see a bounce off of the 200, but also we could see a bounce because of this trend line right here. Now, the trend line is not perfect, obviously, but remember, we want to note that trend lines and support lines are not supposed to be perfect lines in the sand. So I could definitely see this bounce from this area, and we could see some more buying, and this could be a longer-term play, maybe even get back into this area yet. But again, we haven't seen enough development yet to be sure of that. We'll go into a 15-minute time frame, and I'll show you guys what we want to see. All right, let's bring this back up here. Sorry, I have to switch through all these charts. Okay, so what we want to see on a 15-minute time frame is we want to see a nice bounce where, again, we get back above this 5-day moving average. You guys are going to hear this from me so many times, but this 5-day moving average is really important. You really want to pay attention to this 5-day. So we want to see price get back above this 5-day moving average. And then we want to see the 5-day moving average slope sideways. Let's see if we can get that. So we slope, God darn it. See the 5-day moving average slope sideways and then begin to turn higher before we're going to trade the stock long. Price then would shoot up from here, pull back down, 5-day would test the support, and then price would go along with it. So we want to see that develop before we really trust trading this one to the long side. But I think this could be a good play that's setting up. Again, just watch out for that 5-day moving average and wait till we break above that to trade this stock. And again, that's EXEL. I'm looking over a whole bunch of other stocks. I'm not really seeing too much that's convincing me yet to go long here. The market is just it's at a turning point. We don't really know if we're going to get a good bounce from this area. We're clearly in a short-term downtrend in the market, and we really want to remain cautious here. That's why I'm not being too aggressive trading today. I haven't brought you guys a whole bunch of ideas just because I'm just not sure of where the market is at right now. So we want to take our time. It's better to sit in cash, sit on the sidelines, and protect our equity rather than going out there and doing something drastic and making a big loss, which is really what we want to avoid. So I'm going to keep scouring the market, see if I can't see any better plans. If we do begin to get a bigger sell-off, again, let's go to this SPY just to remind ourselves. go to a 15-minute. If we do begin to see a bigger sell-off from this area as we are backing away from it, from that black line right here, if we begin to see this act as resistance and we're really starting to push south, I might start considering some short plays and selling this market short as the sellers are in clear control. But I'm not too eager to jump to that conclusion right away. So let's wait. Let's see how this day develops, and I'll bring you guys some more ideas later tonight. And good luck trading.